Welcome to Don't Starve. My name is Kit, and today we're going to be covering resources. Not an exactly lively topic, but really very important. So while I run around and gather some stuff we need to make our eventual science or alchemy machine and other things, we'll discuss, how I classify resources. So I classify the resources into three categories. You have your renewable, your non-renewable, and your spawning resources. Now, your non-renewable resources are rocks, flint, tentacles, and I always say wild carrots. You see like this wild carrot here. I mention wild carrots because you can plant seeds in a farm plot and get carrots, but the carrots that spawn out here in the wild do not renew. Most all of the other resources are renewable if you manage them in the right way. First renewable resource we'll talk about, and we've talked about before, is grass, sticks, and berries. Now, as I said, they'll regrow as long as you don't dig up the original bush. If you burn the bush, though, however, in some way destroy it, it is gone for good. So yes, if you dig up the tufts or the saplings or the berry bushes, they make great fire or fuel for fire, but that destroys it and that bush is no longer in your world. If you have an overabundance of these types of resources, that can work in a pinch. Now, the saplings are the only bushes that you can replant and then have them regrow on their own. The grass and the grass tuft and the berry bushes, you need to fertilize to have them replant or to regrow. And one thing, oops, just accidentally dug up that tuft. Well, we've got plenty of extras, so shh, don't tell anybody. The berry bushes, once they're replanted, they deplete with use, and they take longer in between production of the berries. Also, the depleting with use will make them need to be fertilized more often, so you will have to continue to re-fertilize them. Now, trees do not regrow when you chop them down or you burn them. However, they do, depending on the maturity level of the tree, drop pine cones that can be either replanted to make other trees or used for fuel or whatnot. I try to, and I'm slacking here because I'm paying more attention to talking, but I try to, as I chop down a tree, replant a tree for each one I chop down. That way I always have a renewed source of wood. You never want to use up a resource that you have in a particular area without resupplying that resource. That could be the matter of life and death, and to plant you just right click on the tree to plant it. Now, large trees drop 2 pine cones and 3 logs. Medium trees drop 1 pine cone and 2 logs. Small trees drop only a log, and dead trees drop only a pine cone. Now, they do leave behind a stump if you chop them down that is you may dig up for an extra log. Now, burnt trees drop 1 charcoal and the occasional pine cone, but burned trees have no stump to dig up, and charcoal is an important resource that we'll need in crafting later. Flowers, once picked or burned, are gone for good, but there is one way to replant replenish your stock of flowers, and that is butterflies. As you can see, butterflies can be caught with a bug net and replanted using the right mouse button, and this plants a flower. And it's best not to deplete all of your flowers in one area so that you have a continuous supply of butterflies. Petals, when picked, give you 5 sanity, and when eaten give you 1 health. Butterflies, besides being planted, also have health and hunger benefits. When killed, they drop butterfly wings or butter, which can be eaten to restore health or hunger, or used in crock-pot recipes. So it is a balancing game between replanting and using butterflies, but as long as you have flowers, you'll always have butterflies. Now, bee flows are another resource that is renewable as long as they're managed correctly. A note about bee flow is they're a neutral mob, and they do not attack you unless they are in heat, and you can tell they're in heat because they'll turn around and their butts are red, and they get very nasty when they're in heat. Also, if you attack one, they will alert any other bee flow in the area, and then they will all become hostile. Now, if you kill all of the adult bee flow present in a particular area when there are no babies, the bee flow will no longer be in that area. They do not respawn. You can selectively cull a herd by either leaving a minimum of 1 adult or by leaving the babies, and their heat and breeding cycle will repopulate the bee flow in that area. That's what makes them a renewable resource. Now, bee flow when killed drop 4 meat and 3 wool, and the occasional horn. You can also shave bee flow while they're sleeping for 3 wool. This gives you a continuous supply of poop, which is great fertilizer. Which, if you dig up your berries and dig up your grass, or if you need bee farm plots, which we'll be doing actually in the next episode. We'll be finding some bee flow and collecting some poop so we can make some farm plots. As long as you have bee flow, you have a continuous supply of that. You do, like I said, never want to wipe out an area completely of any single resource. The next type of resource I want to talk about is the spawn point resources. And the spawn point resources all have one thing in common. If you destroy the spawn point, then obviously there will no longer be the spawn of that particular thing there. We'll cover each type of important spawn type resource individually as we go along. Now, I'm hungry. Now, as you see, each one of these spawn point type things are normally located on the maps. We have the spiders, the beehives, and I think I had seen a pig around here somewhere. Where's the pig? Oh yes, there's the pig house. Those are spawn point resources. We're going to start with the pigs. A pig house spawns 1 pig, and if the pig is killed, it will respawn another in about 3 days. Pigs when killed drop either 1 meat or 1 pig skin, but on a full moon, pigs turn into werepigs, and when killed, drop 2 meat and 1 pig skin. And this is the only way to guarantee a pig skin drop from killing a pig. A hammer, or do they call it TNT in here? Gunpowder. That's what it's called. Gunpowder can break down a pig house, and it returns 2 pig skins, 2 cut stone, and 2 boards. Pig houses can be rebuilt by you once you research them or prototype them with your alchemy machine with the proper materials. I believe it's 4 pig skins, 3 cut stone, and 4 boards to make a pig house. Now, merman houses look just like pig houses, just a lot more run down. And they spawn 4 mermen each. I'm not sure about the respawn rate on the mermen. They're hostile and they'll swarm you. And when they're killed, they drop 1 fish and 1 frog legs. Their house can be broken down just like a pig house, and it will drop 1 to 2 fish, 2 boards, and I believe some rocks. Merman houses can't be rebuilt, but I'm not sure exactly why you would want to. Anyway, the next one I want to talk about is the bees. And there are 2 different types of beehives. There's queen beehives, where the killer bees spawn, and they are hostile to anything in the proximity of their beehive. The next type of beehive is the honey beehive, which is the one that you saw on the map, the yellow one, and that is the one that spawns the honeybees. Unless you mess with the hive or with the bees, if you mess with the hive or the bees, it will spawn killer bees. Both types of bees, when killed, drop either 1 stinger or 1 honey. Both types of beehives can be attacked and destroyed, and they both yield 1 honeycomb and 3 honey. You need the honeycomb to build harvestable bee boxes for a ready supply of honey and bees, because once destroyed, the beehives do not respawn and they are not harvestable for their honey at all, unless you destroy them. Now, the next type of respawn is the tallbird nests. And tallbird nests obviously spawn tallbirds. Tallbirds lay eggs. Tallbirds are aggressive to anything that comes near their nests. Killing a tallbird yields you 2 meat, and they respawn every day. Harvesting the egg from the nest naturally gives you an egg, and the nest will continue to spawn the tallbirds. The nest is destroyed. I believe it can be destroyed by fire, but once it's gone, it's gone. There's no way to replace a tallbird nest, as far as I know. The last of the respawn points, and probably the most dangerous, are the spider nests. And whoa, okay. Well, this is a tree ant, and we're going to try to set him on fire here. Like I said, these campfires here aren't the safest campfires, and they do start things on fire, like him. We're gonna try to get through spider nests while trying to kill them. Yeah, this isn't a small one, so he may take a little bit. You just got to time it right. Ooh, that was bad timing. Ow! He kind of hits hard, and he don't like me. Trying to get my my rhythm going here, but it's hard to talk and dodge tree ants at the same time. Anyway, as you can see on the lower part of the screen there, that's a spider nest, and there are technically 4 different stages to spider nests, and we'll cover them all individually. First off, all of the nests have the webbing around them, as you could see. The webbing slows you down. It doesn't slow the spiders down. And touching it also alerts the spiders to your presence. The first tier of spider nests we want to talk about is the tier 1s, which is what that one down in the corner was. They're a single ball, and when the webbing is triggered, they spawn 1 spider. When that spider or the nest is attacked, it spawns 2 additional spiders, and they are all the normal black variety. Spiders, when killed, drop either monster meat, silk, ow, or a healing gland, and tier 1 nests, when destroyed, drop 2 silk. All these birds are distracting me. Ouch. The next tier up is the tier 2 nests, which have 2 balls on them, and think snowman-ish. Ow. And when the webbing is triggered, they spawn 3 spiders, and when those are attacked, they spawn 3 more spiders. I believe one will always be a warrior or a green spider. The warrior or green spiders hit harder, they're harder to kill, and they jump. Stop hurting me. The tier 2 nests, when destroyed, drop 4 silk. I really upset him. I normally replant 1 pine cone approximately, unless I'm trying to thin out a forest. Drop for, the purposes of not burning it down with lightning or whatever. Thank gosh. They drop living logs, which we'll learn about for a different crafting recipe, and in monster meat. Anyway, back on to spiders. The next tier up is the tier 3 nests, and they have 3 balls and a shit ton of spiders spawn from them, and a minimum of 3 warrior spiders. I don't know exactly the count, as I'm normally just shutting my eyes and swinging randomly because I hate spiders. The tier 3 nests destroyed drop, I believe, 6 silk, and they drop 1 spider egg sac. And spiders are very important. These are just the regular black spiders here. They can die in 3 hits. Like I said, they drop monster meat, or that's the spider gland. That's a healing gland. It works in a healing salve, which we'll learn how to make probably very soon. Anyway, the last stage of a spider nest is the spider queen, and she forms from tier 3 nests, and when she spawns, she leaves behind normally a tier 1 or a tier 2 nest, and she lays spiders to follow her around, and she lays 1 spider about every 5 seconds when she's aggroed, and there is a 25% chance that any of the spiders she lays is a warrior spider. Now, you can kill her. She's very difficult. She hits very hard, and with the army of spiders following her, that makes it even harder. I'll teach you how to use creative use of other NPCs in the game to down a spider queen in later episodes. But for right now, we'll just worry about that. Eventually, she does turn back into a Tier 1 nest. The spiders that she has spawned around her will then huddle around that one Tier 1 nest and protect it. Now, a note is the spiders sleeping out in the open do proximity aggro, and they wake up if you get too close. The queen, when you kill her, drops silk, monster meat, an egg sac, and the queen's head. And the queen's head you can wear as a hat to control any non-queen controlled spider, but be warned, wearing it will aggro anything that would normally aggro to a spider, such as pigs. And I made that mistake once, and the pigs didn't like it at all. Once the spider nests are destroyed, they do not respawn, and the only way to replenish a supply of spiders is to plant the eggs dropped by the Tier 3 nests or the queen. It's important to know this because silk and healing glands are important resources that you will need continuously. From, like, now we're going to start with farming silk and making the resources with that till the end. You will always need a steady supply of silk and spider glands. There is one other way to destroy spider nests, and that is fire, and this will clear out any threat of spiders, but a burned nest drops no resources. And this is all for the primary resources. There are other less common or less used resources that we will cover as we get to them. We do have some of the living logs. There's other things like that that are, like I said, less used, less common, that are used in crafting. And since I'm going to teach crafting and we're going to try to craft everything, we will use, but for right now we'll just cover them as we get to them. I was going to do food values and food sources in the next episode, but I went a little overboard with collecting resources here, some resources, and I need others. And to cover food values, I'd like to get a couple of turbo farm plots going so that we can have some vegetables and a crock pot, so we can discuss all of the recipes and food sources and food values at the same time, or for the most part at the same time. So I think the next episode we are going to go find some beefalo and farm up some poop and make some farm plots, and we'll discuss random mobs that we haven't already covered. You've seen the pig, the spiders, the tree ant. We'll see if we can find some other things to go through and cover. I believe we've seen a couple of turkeys, the jackalopes here. All are or can be a source of specific resources. Most, if we're talking about renewable and non-renewable resources, most renewable turkeys are just, I wish I had arranged right now. I should have made a boomerang. The turkeys are just annoying. But we'll cover that while we go looking for some beefalo and get some farms together and get some meat farmed up and other food sources farmed up, so we can cover the crock pot and what to cook. And that would be all for this episode, and I thank you very much and have a great day.